This is a PlayStation 1, and I'm about to give you about 1,000 reasons why you should be on the lookout for a broken one. Because inside this salvage console is an XSTATION, and I am about to share all of its secrets with you. So if you are a PlayStation fan that loves nostalgia, buckle up. Maybe you have seen my videos on the GameCube mod. Maybe you've seen the videos on the Xbox 360 mod, or maybe you've even seen the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 mods. This is the PlayStation 1 mod, and it's not like any of the other mods. This is a mod with a purpose. So let's open this thing up, show you what's inside, and then plug it into a good old-fashioned Sony Trinitron tube television and take it for a spin. So what is this beautiful smoke gray PlayStation anyways? It is an ODE, an optical disc emulator that allows you to play all of your PlayStation 1 backups from a tiny 1 terabyte SD card. I have a 1 terabyte in there. You could put whatever size you want in there, but let's start with that. 1 terabyte. Now that contains 99% of the entire PlayStation 1 library. And as you can see, the optical disc emulator, or the XSTATION, actually replaces the disc laser with a 3D printed insert. I had Dr. Mod 3D print this one for me, which then allows you to take your micro SD card, pop it in there, and it gives you full access to all of your game backups. Just a few moments ago, I called this mod a mod with a purpose. That's because unlike something like a PlayStation 2 mod, or even the PlayStation 3 mod, this thing is built specifically to play PlayStation 1 games. Now, both of these mods will play PlayStation 1 and 2, and this will play PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, but they also play a wide variety of emulators. You can play NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, Atari, even PSP games are installed on the PlayStation 3. Well, the PS1 here is for die-hard PS1 enthusiasts. First and foremost, because this machine doesn't really play any of the emulators super well. You can load them on there, but I wouldn't recommend it. So what does it do? It plays one of the best game console libraries of all time, all on original hardware. So let's get these little bullet points out of the way right off the bat. Yes, there are plenty of other things that will emulate PS1. Your PC, your Steam Deck, your PlayStation 2 and your PlayStation 3, hell, your Xbox 360 can emulate PlayStation 1 games, but nothing is like, what is it? Yeah, playing it on original hardware. That's where the game is going to play the best. I say this all the time. I probably shouldn't have to say it anymore, but I always do. So you have a PS1 and you want to do this mod. Let's talk about difficulty levels. So unlike the PlayStation Vita and even the Nintendo Wii mod that I showed you in other videos, this one I wouldn't call a beginner's mod. This is actually a fairly difficult mod. It involves installing a QSB, or quick solder board, to the motherboard of the PlayStation. From that QSB, you have to run a ribbon cable to your new optical disc emulator. That is, after you uninstall the original optical disc laser. One thing of note, this XSTATION only works on PU8 and PU18 PlayStation 1 motherboards, like the boards found in the 1000 and 5500 model PS1s. If you don't know what that is, it's okay. Just flip your PlayStation over, and on the bottom there's going to be a tag with a serial number. Right next to that is going to be the model of your PlayStation 1. It only works on 1000 and 5500 models. And on top of all that, a few other components are removed from the motherboard, and there are some pins that need to be lifted from the motherboard that need to be soldered. If that sort of thing sounds like fun to you, you should order up an XSTATION and give it a shot. Me, on the other hand, I have no desire. And so, like the rest of my mods that I show you, I have Dr. Mod do all of mine. If you want to get a hold of him, again, email is always in the description of these videos. One of the other questions that I always seem to get when I show people this mod is, awesome, I don't need a memory card anymore, right? It'll probably just save to the SD card. No, you still need a memory card. In fact, might I recommend going online and getting yourself a Pocket Station. I don't know if you remember these things, but in Japan, Sony put out the PlayStation equivalent to the VMU. Yeah, it's a little memory card that not only stores your game saves, but you can play little games on it and stuff. These things, even ordered from Japan, work like a charm in North American and PAL PlayStations. Not only that, but if you get a cool clear case like this, they go really well. So what do you say? Should we grab the old CRT, hook this thing up, and check it out? I thought so. Let's hit you with some of those good old nostalgic sounds. From that first boot menu, it loads you right into the XSTATION menu. And as you can see, you have just about every game from the PlayStation 1 library at your fingertips. Let's just select one of my personal favorites. Now, when you find the game you want, it gives you two options. It gives you fast load and it gives you full load. Fast load will jump you right to the game's menu. Full load is going to give you the authentic experience as if you put the disc in the disc tray.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions. But enough talk. How about you?
All right, now tell me that thing just doesn't bring on waves of nostalgia. If you grew up in the 90s, this is something I highly recommend. Are you a die-hard PlayStation fan? There is one thing I would like to point out as somewhat of a preservationist of physical media and games in general. While I love all these mods and I love to see what people are doing with them, I personally think everyone should have an original working console. So if you have one that is still reading discs just fine, I would suggest not doing this mod to it. Keep it original so you can still play your physical game discs. What I would do is go online, go on eBay, there's tons of places you can find it, and find one that maybe isn't working. Or better yet, find one that has a burnt out laser in it, because that's gonna get pulled out anyways. That is the perfect console to do this kind of mod to. I do love the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 mods. If you haven't seen them, check them out in a video right here. But I can't tell you from experience, this is the best way to experience PS1 games, period. And if you don't want to miss videos like this in the future, I would politely request you subscribe to the channel right here. And until next time, enjoy the journey.